What is up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be going over an interview between TV Line and The Flash's showrunner Eric Wallace that gives us a lot of information about Season 7. But before we get started, make sure that you guys like, share, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment down below any other video ideas for me. So yeah, guys, I'm just going to start reading the article. So it says TV Line spoke with showrunner Eric Wallace about how the conclusion of the Mirrorverse arc changed over the course of the supersized hiatus, how a depleted Team Flash will resort to extreme measures to shatter Eva's devious dreams, the uniquely interesting journey ahead for one character, and much, much more. So the first question asked is, you ended last season with 3 unfinished episodes. Did it in fact wind up taking all 3 to finish the Eva McCulloch arc? And Eric Wallace responds with, I don't know if it's a spoiler or not, if I can say that, but with the early part of the season, we do address last year's cliffhanger. In the first few episodes, we'll be getting Iris out of the Mirrorverse and all those good things, and we will be wrapping up the Eva McCulloch storyline before launching into a brand new graphic novel. So yeah, that's all stuff we've already known. Obviously, Eva being the main villain for the first 3 episodes or so, and then the new main villain starting right after that. So next, Eric Wallace has asked about the Ralph Dibny, Hartley Sawyer situation, and just basically asking if anything is going to change in the first 3 episodes, and he said, yes, the first and the third episodes of the season changed. The first changed about 20%, let's say. Our premiere was not intended to be a premiere, so we had to give it an entirely new opening that had a more flashy action, because people want to see the Flash and Eva McCulloch in her mirror costume. We had to re-engineer the entire first third of the premiere, which was a really fun challenge, but I think it made the episode much stronger. So it looks like Ralph would have had a pretty significant part in episode 1 and episode 3 of season 7, however they had to change it because obviously the actor that plays him was fired. Eric Wallace then says, in order to then wrap up Eva's story, there was an episode early in the season that literally we had to change almost half of it. That was also due to COVID. Usually to wrap up a storyline, we have hundreds of extras all over these things going on in downtown Vancouver. We blow up cars, we have a sense of a scale and a spectacle to end the big bad, and we couldn't do that because of COVID, but we still had to have a spectacle. So how do you do that? And we had to deal with the loss of a cast member in Elongated Man, who was very wrapped up in that story, because we have to exonerate Sue of Joseph Carver's murder. Next, he says, it was an incredible puzzle to finish Eva's story, but you make lemonade out of lemons, and that episode is stronger as a result. We found clever ways to bring in scale by relying a bit more on visual effects, and we had to rely more on character emotions and the actors themselves, and how things were introduced, and how twists were presented. When we wrap up Eva's story, there are some real surprises for the audience that would not have existed in the same manner if there hadn't been this COVID interruption. So basically what I'm thinking here is that a lot of the stuff that we thought would happen might actually not happen. It's going to be a lot different than we originally thought. So next, Eric Wallace is asked about, well, Cisco and Caitlin, they're all off the map, Ralph is on the map, what exactly is going to be, what are the opportunities that are going to be happening in the premiere? So he says, it was an opportunity because Barry also is losing all of his speed at this point. Team Flash is at their lowest point, which means they can't fight, so whatever happens will push them to extreme measures, and that is the plot of the season premiere. What extreme measures do they adopt, and what are the consequences of that? Barry, without all of his usual Team Flash helpers, needs his speed back in order to fight Eva, so you'll see that happen, but maybe not in the way you thought. I'm kind of hoping that these extreme measures that Barry supposedly has to go to is maybe getting Reverse Flash's help, because I really think he should appear somehow in this season, whether it's an entire storyline or whether it's just an episode or 2. So then he's asked basically, will Iris change when she comes out of the Mirrorverse? And he says, well, that'd be a spoiler. Let's just say you can't get out of the Mirrorverse and not be unaffected when you return to real life. And what does that mean for Barry and Iris as a couple? Without spoilers, it is very fair to say that once Iris gets out of the Mirrorverse, yes, she will rejoin Team Flash as an active member and help bring down the McCullochs once and for all. So then he's asked about Caitlyn and Cisco returning, and first he says Caitlyn, because of COVID, came back sooner than expected. That was a real blessing. You won't have to wait long at all for Caitlyn and Frost to return, and we actually added scenes to bring Frost in at least 2 to 3 episodes sooner than originally planned. Same thing with Cisco. Let's just say that he comes back wiser and with the skills and talents to help them defeat Eva. Now obviously you guys remember that Cisco at the end of season 6 went off to get a perpetually motion machine to try and get Iris out of the Mirrorverse, or to get Barry's speed back rather. So that's going to be very interesting to see if he actually ends up bringing that back and exactly how he changes when he comes back. And then we get some stuff about possible villains. So TV Line asks, after Eva, we're heading on to graphic novel 3, in addition to number 4, might there also be a 5 this season? So Eric Wallace responds with, there will be graphic novels number 3 and 4, 2 just like last year. After Eva, look for 2 new big bads in their own graphic novels. So yeah, it actually looks like Chillblaine is going to be one of these graphic novel main villains. So he's going to be one of the 2, I guess, main villains of the season 7, besides Eva, obviously. So technically, I guess it's 3 main villains. But I'm not exactly excited by this. I mean, Chillblaine, obviously, I've never really heard of him until, obviously, we got the reveal that he was going to be a villain in season 7. I just didn't know he was going to be more of a big bad. I know he's similar to Captain Cold, so I guess that's something right there. But in reality, I'm really not looking forward to this very much, although I wasn't really looking forward to Bloodwork at the start of season 6. However, he is now my 3rd favorite Flash main villain, so maybe Chillblaine will be something similar. So then we get a little bit of a David Ramsey, who plays John Diggle, Green Lantern teaser here. TV Line asks, what are your plans for David Ramsey's announced next visit as Arrow's John Diggle? Then Eric Wallace responds with, oh boy, that's a spoiler. When we last saw Diggle, he had a situation at the end of Arrow he needed to deal with, so he arrives to help Team Flash in the back half of the season, carrying the weight of that problem. The question is, how can he help Team Flash when he has got something even bigger on his mind? And that's what the story is. So this is obviously something Green Lantern related, because that is the problem, quote-unquote problem, that we see him deal with at the end of Arrow. So it's going to be really interesting to see exactly what we're dealing with here in the back half of The Flash Season 7. But yeah, I'd say that's about it, guys. Thanks for watching. Make sure to comment your thoughts on this video down below, as well as what you think of this interview and what else you think might happen in The Flash Season 7. Just make sure that you guys remember The Flash premieres tomorrow at 8/7 Central on the CW. So yeah, make sure you guys are on the lookout for that. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.